Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Little Western Motorama YouTube channel. I'm James, and welcome back to the heap. Apologies for the mess. I've had a really stressful few weeks. We've had some technical difficulties, some big stress points, and some illness over the last 3 or 4 weeks that really hindered any sort of motivation or ability to do anything, and that has continued right up until today, the day of the recording this. As you can probably tell, my voice is still not 100% better, but I wanted to get something out ahead of Christmas and the new year, just to wrap up the year. So how have we done this year? Well, we've released a few videos, some loco overviews, train set overview. We did very recently. We did how I did lay plane track, which was actually rather a good success, I thought. Ready to follow that up in the new year with the 2, maybe 3 part of turnouts, which I have been able to get working, and that will be coming up very soon in the new year. We're going from strength to strength in 2025. That's my plan anyway. I've got a lot recorded already, a lot of plans for next year as well, for the layout, for other modelling projects as well. I know that sounds strange considering how long this thing is taking me, but my motivation is that I want my home layout, this shunting layout, to be perfect. Not perfect, wrong word. I want it to be right. I want to do it right by my own working, which means doing everything by hand, how I set out to do it. Upon reflection, and I'll go into that in a minute, it might not have been a good idea, but that's how I want to do it. So that's why it's taking so long to do. Motivation-wise, and trying to get things right and do things right and having setbacks and things like that, it was going to happen. But I digress. What I want to do throughout the coming years is do smaller projects. Like display boards, maybe a very small, like a very, very, very tiny, not layout, but, diorama boards, do some kit builds, things like that, little projects in between that I can step back from the main project and try and keep that modelling fire going. And I think that's where most of my problem has been, is that I've been focused too much on trying to get this done, and when something goes wrong, or I'm having trouble elsewhere, this hasn't been fun. And because it's not been fun at times, I've lost motivation for it, and we've gone months without any sort of progress. So I want to change that completely, where I can work on the layout and do bits on the layout, and we're getting very close to being able to run trains. I know I've said that in the past, but I have had trains running. I have been able to do some shunting, and you'll see some footage of that early in the new year. But it's taken a long time, and it's been very stressful for me as well, because I've wanted to get it done for so long, and I had a 6-month block of not wanting to do anything on the layout, and I don't want that to happen again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some more wagon kits. I'm going to pick up some building kits. I'm going to the UK at the end of January, so I'm going to pick up some bits that I can do as and when I find motivation for doing layout stuff is waning, and I can pull up a kit and I can spend a few days doing a kit. I can do other things. So with some luck, that will keep me motivated, keep the mojo flowing, make sure I don't have a modelling block per se, and we can go from there. But for the year as a whole, I'm not happy with the progress I made. I'd be lying if I said I was happy with the progress that I made on the layout. I've genuinely done very little this year on the layout. I mean, I managed to get the back line working. I've got all but one of the turnouts built. There's one turnout and the catch point that need to be put in place to be tested. The turnouts and sidings for the Ingwanuk shunting puzzle are done. They've been wired up, and I have been able to move one of the turnouts, so I was able to do some back and forth just to test it. But I haven't got any time between now and the new year to actually sit down and spend some time to go over and sort that. So that's not going to be done until the new year when I get back from visiting family. But I digress. That's another side of things. I am motivated to get it done. I do want to get it done. But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've had a lot of stressful moments with work, trying to finish up the end of the year. I've been ill for the last 5 days, very ill for the last 5 days, which really sucks because I really wanted to make that massive amount of progress over the last few days, to try and end the year with a shunting video, which I'm unfortunately not able to do. And I was trying to get one more locomotive overview out as well, which again I haven't been able to do for reasons. But if I look back, I keep asking myself several questions, and one of the questions that I think of a lot, and I think quite a few other people have been asking or thinking about right now, is why haven't I just gone ahead and used ready to run track work? And it's because I liked the idea of the challenge. I know the track work itself is not 100% prototypical. It's actually impossible in this scale to do these kinds of turnouts 100% accurately in 4mm. It's even more difficult. Well, I say it's not even more difficult, but you still can't do it in 7mm supposedly accurately. These are all 10-foot Great Western loose hill switches. It's you can model them, but they won't be like 100% accurate. So I would say these are like 80-odd% accurate. There's like a few details that I can't do. For example, how the actual switchblades move and so on and so forth. But sleeper spacings, sizes, everything like that is correct. The track plan is not accurate to any real track plan. It's my own design. It's completely fictitious. So that was the entire inspiration for me. Even the location is 90% fictitious. It's based on a real place, but it's not real. Like the hill wouldn't have existed. The quarry wouldn't have been. The place where the layout ends wouldn't have been real. The hill wouldn't have been real. So it's like 90% fictitious in itself. But I wanted to challenge myself, and it definitely has been a challenge. And it's taken me almost a year to overcome 2 parts of that challenge, and to become confident and to be able to get to that point now. In hindsight, the amount of times I thought about ripping everything up, going out and spending the money on bullhead, ready to run track work, and just doing it that way, I have been so tempted many times. But honestly, at the end of the year, I'm glad I haven't. I know I haven't got anything running, and I know I haven't been able to do anything, but I'm glad I haven't. And I want to thank the Kiln Line, Engage USA. So that's Rob at the Kiln Line, Dan at Engage USA, and Hilton at Proper Chuffed for keeping me motivated and semi-sane. Also Aaron at Upwell and Onwards. Upwell and Onwards. God, that's a tongue twister. I didn't think it would be. Probably bad voice. For keeping me sane and keeping me on track for the last year, for sure. Definitely waned mentally. for the last few months. So yeah, just want to thank them. Yeah, honestly, I came so close to tearing this entire thing up, and just creating a roundy thing that wouldn't fit in this space at all. And I'm very glad I haven't. Honestly, very glad I haven't. Although now I realise I actually have the space to be able to do that. I could do that, and I could still have a shunting puzzle in the middle. So watch this space. Maybe eventually I'll get rid of this, and I'll have a roundy in the same space. Although now I come to think of it, that might not be a terrible idea. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for sticking around this year. I know it hasn't been contentful. I haven't put any layout updates in the last 6 months, probably mainly because there's been nothing to update about, quite honestly. But in the new year, we have, oh god, let's see, we've got six, maybe seven Great Western locomotives to be overviewed, at least. We have a number of other locomotives to be overviewed and sound fitted as well. So quite a few of those tutorials coming through as well, because I am very curious as to how that will work, and I want to show you guys as well. So that will be great. We've got layout updates for sure coming on this layout. So I want the first video in the new year to be a layout update for you guys, so you can see what actually has happened. We can get some shunting done, and also I've been given permission by my friend with his large LMS layout to do some recording there, and show you what we've been doing in the ways of 3D printing. Which could also change how I do this layout and other layouts in the future. We've got trips to the UK. I've got 1 or 2 trips to the UK that next year that I want to go to some model shops. I want to go to some heritage lines as well, and hopefully just some fun, just absolute fun. So yeah, I really hope you're looking forward to 2025 with your own modelling. I hope that you will stick with me in 2025 as well for potentially all the good content. I hope it will be good content. And I just want to thank you all for your patience. So, without further ado, I'm going to sign off this video by saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, have a fantastic new year, and I will see you all in 2025. Take care.